Hi folks, welcome back. Sorry for the lack of content and lack of updates and whatever. I've been a bit ill. Had a touch of the old COVIDs. So I was off work for a couple of weeks and sort of 3 weeks in now. I'm just getting back on my feet. Still a bit lethargic and tired, but other than that. So I just thought I'd put this wee video up. It was actually something that was actually already on the computer. I'd actually filmed it a couple of months back and basically forgot to put it up. So I just thought I'd throw it up now and give you a little update on what's going on. It's just a video of me changing the front springs. If you remember back in one of the earlier videos, the front driver side spring had snapped, hence why the vehicle was so low. So ordered a new set of springs when we were ordering all the rest of the stuff, so I just thought I'd throw them on. So just a wee video, boring as it is, showing you changing springs and showing you how to kill yourself with a set of spring compressors. God, I hate those things. But anyway, just a quick clean up and put the springs on. So anyway, back to the other thing in hand. As I say, I'm back to sort of a 90% fitness again, so starting to feel like my old self again. And hopefully, work permitting and whatnot, I'll get back into the garage at the end of this week and start getting the engine back together again. And with the aim of maybe trying getting it in and running the following weekend if I can. It's, we'll see how it goes. As I say, it depends on work, and the nature of my work is that basically if I get a call out, I get a call out. If I don't, then I'm in the garage, and if it's one of them. Basically the springs were just standard fit, everything was okay. I can't see why the spring snapped, whether it was just a bit of fatigue in the metal or whether it hit a massive pothole or whatever. There's no damage to the wheel, there's no damage to anything else, so it was just literally the spring had snapped. So I don't know. Anyway, these spring compressors, these are ruthless things. But I suppose once they're in place and done up properly, very little can go wrong. Famous last words. But it's just a bit of a fiddly job. But once you get them sort of in place and just tighten them each side a little bit at a time. So anyway, as I say, fingers crossed I'll get into the garage. I've got the front cover on, I've got the timing chains on, so basically I want to get the sump back on. As I say, it's swinging on the engine crane, so I'll get the sump back on. That'll be the first job, and then I'll re-tap the threads for the oil cooler. If you remember right, a while back when I done the oil cooler, it stripped the thread, so I've got longer bolts and I'm going to recut the threads obviously, and it was quite a long thread. It was just actually the bolt was quite short, so got a slightly longer bolt when I replaced the bolts, and I'll recut that. And then something I should have done before I put the head on, but bit of lack of forethought, whatever. When I took the glow plugs out, they were mangled, and I'm told this is normal. The threads in the glow plugs were basically all sort of deteriorated. I don't know what the head, whatever. So obviously I've got the new glow plugs to put in, and but I'm going to recut the threads. As I say, it should have been done before the head went back on, but didn't think about it at the time, so I devised a way of recutting the threads without any crap falling down inside. So I'll work something out, but that's another little job that needs to be done. And you see, this is the strut that had the spring busted on it. So I stripped that back a few months back and just took the spring off so I could make sure that the springs I was getting were the right ones. So I just put it on so that nothing would get lost off it. So again, just pulling it off and giving it a clean up. Put the new spring in that one, and I decided to stick this one in the vise, as it wasn't the easiest thing to manhandle on the top of the parts cleaner. So stuck this one in the vise, polish my rod. Yeah, it's basically just giving everything a clean up before the thing goes back on. I wasn't sure whether to get the whole strut, but literally I just want to get the car on the road, see how it drives, see whether I even like it. I might not even like the car. I don't think so. I think it'll be the missus and the dog back. They've been out for a wander, so schoolboy error. Should have put the spring on before I put the rubbers on, because they're quite tight. Hey, I've no patience. Come back to that one. So anyway, been for a brew, came back. It's amazing when you take a wee sort of a step back and step away for 10 minutes, and it's amazing how things go that wee bit easier. So just try to work out where to put the spring compressor on this, just to give me the best coverage sort of thing. So just sort of a seating the spring so that I can see that it's not going to foul anything. Bless you. Or bless me. Yeah, so that's the way the top mount sits. So you've got to compress it obviously so that the top of the strut goes through that. So it's quite a bit of compression it's got to get done. As I say, when you're trying to sort of hold the spring in position, hold everything, you sort of need 2 pairs of hands. You see, just a fiddly job. Not a difficult job, a fiddly job. As I said, bloody fiddly job. Is to hold them in the position you want, just so that you can get the right coverage, the right sort of compression on the spring, the right travel, and that you're not sort of a foul on the mount once you've got the compressor in place. Anyway, it'll be good to be back in the garage. As I said, they're a bloody nightmare, these things. ain't got the patience for this. Never mind, we'll get there. We get there in the end. I say, once you get them in position and you actually start doing them up, and they can't go anywhere, and it's just, you know, the sort of compression and tension that they're under. I think that's the frightening bit. It's not they're actually dangerous, it's more. You should be able to see the spring compressing there. So just do a couple of threads at a time. Sight it and see how far much more I need to come down. Put the top mount in to see how it sits. Give the rubber a wee clean up. This is actually where most of the time's taken up on these jobs. It's actually just cleaning. It's not actually the stripping or the putting the stuff together. It's actually, you spend more time actually cleaning the part than you do actually doing anything else. Schoolboy error, leaving the container in front of the camera again. Steven Spielberg, I am not. Right, as you can see, the mount's actually through the top, but it's just not enough to get the nut in the washer and the. So just do another couple of revolutions on the. And you can see the top mount coming down and the bolt coming through. So simple, yeah. Interesting bit of kit. A wee bit more required. Washer for the bearing cap, it fell off. Yeah, give them another wee bit. Well, everything else, I ain't a mechanic, so I suppose a mechanic would have just rattled that down the first time and know exactly how far to go. I didn't want to take them too tight, I didn't want to take it too far, so we're just doing it a bit at a time and then recheck it, make sure it fitted. So it now fits, and again I won't tighten these right down until I've got it on the car and I can get the thing under load and see how tight it needs to be. Check the torque settings and stuff like that for the top bolt, and we'll go from there. Just get a wind down just to hold it in place. And that's it. Take the spring compressor off, get this tension back on the spring. Stand on the end of the bench because the vice was in the way of the spring compressor to leave to actually undo the nuts for the spring compressor. As you can see, that's that one springing round because obviously the tensions came off it. That's that one. That one. And that's it. Tension back on the spring. Another one done. I'll just move stuff out the road there and just lift it over. As I say, they're bloody heavy things. And that's basically it. So anyway, hopefully we'll get something up at the weekend, folks. And good to be back. Catch you later. Take care out there.